What up, gamers? Today we're going to take a look at an old school horror themed rail shooter called Zombie Raid. So this is really cool. This game has a really unique story. This starts out in 1918 England, where players take on the role of this private detective who's been sent to investigate this rash of grave robbings. So this detective, Edward Windsor, goes in to investigate all these kidnappings, these grave robberies, and he teams up with this other character, Charles, who actually battles beside him throughout part of the game. Eventually, you end up in this castle where Charles dies, and he actually mutates into this hideous beast, and you actually have to fight him several times throughout the game. And this game is really challenging, and the reason why is that in order to actually beat the game, to actually finish the game, you have to find 3 colored crystals and put them in the right setting at the end of the game. The problem is they don't tell you where the crystals are. If you don't find the crystals throughout the game and put them in the right setting, at the end of the game, Edward falls to his death in a pit of spikes. So anyways, this is really cool. Like I said, the characters have a real comic book-like appearance. It's not particularly a gory game. There are a few scenes in the game that are really creepy looking, but it's not really gory. So let's check it out. And by the way, this game was developed by Sammy, and it hit arcades back in 1995. It wasn't a particularly super well-known arcade shooter. And so right now we're battling the grave robbers, this werewolf. Gargoyles. And you can see some of these guys, like if you look at this guy right here, it looks like something out of Where's Waldo. So like I said, really, a lot of the characters have a really comic book looking type appearance. Shooting some of the gravestones actually provides health and power-ups. And there's innocence. If you shoot them, you lose life. Pretty typical of a shooter. Later on in the game, you fight these Frankenstein-looking monsters. The end bosses are ridiculous. They're almost impossible to kill. Some of them take like 1,000 shots to take down. Most of the grave robber guys are pretty easy to beat. They only take 1 shot. Some of the zombies later on in the game can take like 5 or 10 shots to take them down. And headshots particularly count in this game. And there's a few really creepy scenes. You get to one part of the game where this rotting corpse falls out into the screen, and it looks really creepy. But other than that, there's really not a lot of like real blood. It's like real comic book looking, you know. Whoops, I just shot innocent. Oh well. And we're about to the end of the first stage. And that's the end of the first stage. Here's the werewolves. They appear pretty much throughout the entire game. Some scenes are more prevalent than others. And they're not particularly hard to beat. Usually one shot takes them out. And this was not the easiest game to get running in main because I had a lot of trouble calibrating the gun. As it turns out, you actually have to calibrate both guns, even if you're not using the second player. Otherwise, it won't work. Like, your aims will be way off. Your side aims will be way off target. Some scenes, there's like dynamite sticks like that will blow everything up. So I think we're gonna start seeing some zombies here pretty soon. Right now we're still battling the grave robbers. Help! So the graphics have like a real kind of like a 16-bit type feel to them. Very primitive by today's standards for sure, but pretty decent looking for a 1995 arcade game. And here comes the zombies. These guys get tough because one shot does not take them out. It helps if you shoot them in the head. It takes them out, it doesn't take as many shots. And they throw wooden stakes at you. And you can see they're not exactly scary. They really do look like something out of a comic book series, you know? Yeah, this part, some areas you kind of like These werewolves get a little bit harder. They take more shots to take out. And this is like an end boss. And they take a lot of shots to take out. They are not easy. Because the intent was obviously to make money. This was an arcade game, so go figure, right? Totally comic book looking. Not gruesome at all. Just wait though, there's some really horrific looking like rotting corpses later on. Just a couple of them. But they're really not bloody or anything like that. They just look creepy. So I don't know if this guy's supposed to be shooting slime balls at me. I mean... yeah, he takes a ton of shots to take out. There's a lot of reloading. I almost feel like sometimes the clips could be a little bit longer, especially with the shotgun. Because you have to reload so much in this game. It's just ridiculous. And this is Charles. This guy teams up with you to battle zombies throughout part of the game. Then he ends up getting shot and he dies. And he actually mutates into this monster. And that's the end of this stage. And you can see the castle back there in the background. More werewolves. I don't know how we ended up with the second player. It's alright. Really weird scene too, with these zombies coming out of these vehicles like this. This is just ridiculous. There's so many of these things on the screen, and it takes multiple shots just to take out these gargoyles. You can't shoot them all. It's just not possible. A lot of them just fly away. It's one of those parts of the game that really sucks up the quarters. these guys shoot little fireballs at you. Besides the slime balls. Yeah, Charles blows up the gate to get into the castle. And on to the next stage. So here comes the Frankenstein monsters that I was telling you about. And this gets really busy in this stage. Oh, whoops, just shot an instant. Shotgun. Grab that life. Oh, this guy.
Welcome to my dinner party, pal. Today, I'm serving a special dish. It's you!
And there's like a secret lock here. Secret lover.
Let's go through the door. Watch out! Ah! Where am I have to find Charles.
Now we're like deep in the castle. Mummies. Not easy to take out. But check this out. Look at this. This is one of those rotting corpses I was telling you about. Whoops. Look at that. That was kind of creepy. Whole horde of zombies right here. And they just charge at you, throwing those wooden stakes. These ones just don't die easy. On to the next stage. So this is not a bad game. It's really not. It's just that it would have taken $100 in quarters to beat this game because it takes a million shots for some of these end bosses. Like, this guy's not too bad, but some of them. That was Charles, just came in behind him and shot him.
Are you okay?
We must finish them off. Let's go.
And you can see that those crystals that you have to find, they could be anywhere. I've never found all three of them, so... These guys shoot cannonballs at you. Whoops. Wow, there's so many of them. Follow the trail of blood. Werewolves. Wow, there's so many of them.
Edward, behind you!
Oh, there's a boss here. So Charles dies. Now he's gonna transform. He's gonna mutate into a zombie. Aha, there he is. And he takes 8 million shots to kill. You get a few grave robbers here to come out and attack you. But they're kind of a distraction because if you're not shooting him, bats. Yeah, this guy does not go easy. Gotta be almost dead, I think. Now with 2 players, this isn't too bad. If you have 2 players, you can take them out a lot quicker. But with 1 player, man, it's kind of a slow process. It's because they make it take so many shots just to kill these end bosses. And he's gonna come back. You're gonna end up having to fight him again later on in the game. On to the next stage. Whoa, what the heck? I was pumped up. Some of these zombies almost look like aliens. They deformed heads. And there's this Where's Waldo guys. Yeah, in order to actually shoot everything on the screen, you really needed 2 players in this game. This end boss is ridiculous. He takes like 1,000,000 shots to take out. Two-headed beast. And this one is really, really hard. And he just keeps respawning new heads. It's the crazy part. You see he's got that eye in his chest. So the real objective here is to get both heads to go down at the same time. Shoot them both off at the same time. Yeah, this guy is really tough. You can like literally spend $10 battling this guy in the arcade. And it's not really that he, you know, I mean, it's just like it's doing damage just to eat quarters. Come on, die already. Wish this thing would just die. It's so ridiculous. Takes like a million shots, it feels like. He just keeps shooting these slime balls at you too. Alright, I think he's almost dead. He's gonna die soon here. Die already. Finally. He's almost dead. Could you just imagine sticking $20 of quarters in this game just to beat this end boss? How many times have I continued already? Like 15 times? There, finally. Wow. That was so ridiculous.
Pump up.
Pump up. Pump up. Shove more quarters in the machine. Give us all your money. And you can see I just fell to my death. There's the spikes. And that's because I did not find the 3 crystals. And that explains it right here. I congratulate you, you made it, pal. However, you may not know that this castle has a mystical force which silly humans... Oh, I didn't get to read the rest of it. In order to see me collect all 3 crystals hidden somewhere. That's the problem. You have to figure out where the crystals are at. They could be hidden anywhere in the game. And then once you get them, it makes you put them in place. And if you don't get it in the right order, then you still fall to the pit of death. So anyways, that is Zombie Raid. Really cool arcade shooter from 1995. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos, and check out Gamers Bay Community on Google+. There'll be a link below in the description of the video. And until next time, take care.